Well, I was hoping Eddie would join us this time. Maybe he still will, but this is our radar diagram. I won't go into detail, but it covers most aspects of radar. And here's some of the participants from the fall radar rally. And and I got some pictures here. Here's Bob, and of course, Bob, you did the all-time best video for radar, so I appreciate that. Here's Ken. He's in Enterprise, which is near Dothan, Alabama, and he operated out of his vehicle. And this was Bob, KK4DIV. He was in Northwest Florida, and he used QRP, and he had a really good outing. And Lucy, she posted a video of some really bad conditions, and I never got the last word on if she did get on, or maybe the next day.
She didn't, or at least not that day.
Yeah.
So that was the same storm I had an issue with, but she was like, England was hit worse than we were.
Yeah.
So I think she went further inland to some other POTA, but not the Radar Rally.
Okay. Well, I hope she can join us for this upcoming radar rally.
I hope you've specified this on a weekend without rain this time. Both times I've been in, it's been
I'll
really
have to
crappy weather.
check. I'll check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were impacted by the rain. That's right.
Now, she did get out just before the storm got really bad, because I do have her in her log
Okay.
under radar, and she was on the beach. I could hear it howling in the background of her microphone.
Yeah.
I hadn't got out yet. Being in Britain, she was out earlier in the day. I was still at home, but I managed to pick her up with my home station, and we made a contact. Yeah, so she didn't do much, but you could tell by her voice and the howling wind that it was unbelievable where she was.
Yeah, that video she posted was amazing. Like, really proper bad weather.
Yeah. Well, let me get back. I'll try. Who is this?
That's me.
Yeah, that's right. I told somebody you were on a frozen lake, but no, that was not the case.
There's chunks of ice underneath the bow there. It was freezing at the shores already. You can see snow in the bush. And I thought, oh, this has got to be the worst of all the people doing radar that weekend. But I think both Bob and Lucy beat me out in the bad weather department by quite a bit.
Yeah.
The rain Bob had was unbelievable.
Yeah, yours looked really cold, but this was one of the biggest storms that hit Europe last year. So it was insanely bad timing.
Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Pat, NV5 VMO is in Arkansas, and actually I thought he was deployed, but it turned out he was at his shack, but I did work him. I worked Chris, and I worked the fellow from California on the beach. I worked him too. This was me on the beach. I like to operate from the saltwater shore, and my conditions were perfect. So
is that sand or snow?
It's sand. Yeah.
And it's the color of snow.
Yeah.
You've got nice sand down there.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's Florida snow.
Yeah, the beach is about 1,000 miles long there, Greg. It goes from the crotch of Florida all the way over to
yeah. Well, they say it's the world's most beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
That's what they claim in Panama City. And yeah, this is St. Andrews State Park, and I'm a big fan of the saltwater effect. So that's just where I wanted to be, on the saltwater shore. So got my wish, and and I
Well,
had
that's
that little FX4 CR rig, and that worked out well for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I was stationed in Pensacola one time, and so that looks pretty familiar.
Yeah, the beaches are beautiful over there. And I like a place that's called Opal Beach on the island over there. um, well, I looked up Eddie, and he had a radar contact, and his grid square was right here, and he's got a path um, that he's cleared to do his radar on, and that's a riverbed there, and at times I guess it's flowing, and lots of wildlife. So that was just kind of a sampling of folks, and remind everybody that we have a website, radarrally.info, and on that website I've got the video that KK4DIV did, and Bob, and my video, and that's also where you can register for the upcoming Radar Rally. And the groups.io. And we've had some new people join, and I believe a fella in Colorado, he's doing radar. You can do radar at any time, and he was really, he had a good time, and he's very excited about it. So, and this is Eddie ZS6 B&E's cool logger, which is optional, but we give a bonus if you post your contacts to the log, and if another person, Ham, posts their contacts, the log checks to see if there's a match, and if there is, it puts a yes in the QSL. And so anyway, Eddie is really a technical whiz, and this is a web-based live system. So you could use it live or upload a file after the event. And here's my simplified checklist. Yes, it's April 6th, and pick a 4-hour window. Sunday is a backup date. The following Sunday, we've got the rules on our website, and I've got information for registration, which you can email to me, and I post it on a spreadsheet so we know who's out there. And if you want to use the cool logger, you need to email Eddie for a short little key code so that you can use the logger. And so talk up the rally with your club and your ham friends, and encourage them to chase you on the air. And review the roster, double check your pack up, and then have fun. Have a fun and safe radar rally. Well, here's my question. If anybody has inputs on spotting or any insights. Bob, did you basically do the SOTA spotting or the POTA spotting, or what did you do?
I only did the POTA spotting.
Okay.
But it was only POTA areas I was in, and
right.
That works really well. I would imagine SOTA being the same, but
yeah,
that's not possible within that time limit for me, at least, to do that many photos.
Well, I could do POTA spotting. It's just, this is a troublesome area because it's hard to, it's easy to post, but the other radar operators need to be looking for a radar to radar. So I might do a poll on the radar group and see what inputs and so actually the first bullet there is a spreadsheet I did, and even though I was the creator of it, it was, it really asks for a lot of information. So you're so much on the go when you're doing radar. It's spotting is challenging.
Yeah, it was easy to use on a computer, but out in the field on a cell phone, it was. I just gave up after the first try, although I did like the idea.
Right.
So,
well,
but yeah. But adding a link in here for SOTA could be a good idea, just to have the SOTA spot in there. But from my end, at least over here in Europe, there's not going to be very many people on in any case.
Yeah, that's maybe.
Changes. Yeah, you can always hope. So,
we can always hope.
But the way 10 meters has gone, like getting you guys on 10 meters for park to park or radar to radar is actually an option, even QRP now. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
10, 12, 15, something like that. It could actually be possible.
I'd love to get an international radar to radar.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
But I see you guys. You picked a really nice weekend for this. It's like Georgia, Missouri, and Florida have their parks on the air weekends that weekend.
That's right.
So there's going to be a lot of POTA over there for you guys to pick from.
Well, Bob, what band did you use mostly for last time? I guess the band and mode on the last radar rally. Excuse me?
20 and 40.
Yeah.
I think mostly 20 SSB.
Yeah.
And the antenna I had was cut 420, so it tunes up to 40 as well, but 20 is absolutely the best.
Well, looking forward, I could, I'm not limiting people to it, but certainly 20 sideband, what was really good. That's all I did was 20 sideband, and I found Chris and I found 2 other people. So
yeah, the last weeks 10 and 15 have been really good. I got quite a lot DX, but that has been, when you look up the hunter stations over in the States, you guys usually have big antennas. So it's not portable stations.
Okay. Well, we won't solve all the problems.
Another option might be we've done WhatsApp, but that means people got to install the app on their phone.
Yeah, well, is that popular over there, Bob? WhatsApp?
Yeah, I have an account. I don't really use it, but but for something like this, yes, it could work really well. Providing their cell phone coverage where I'm going, but
right.
But that's usually not a big issue. But last time I was with coverage, at least one of the places, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think we should float that idea and see how it goes. Actually, I have a little group on there that I could invite people to on WhatsApp, and it works very well. It's probably the ultimate back channel for radio radar, as long as you have the cell coverage. So
yeah, no, this year I'm not going to be on Lake of the Woods. I'm heading down to Ottawa that weekend to watch the total eclipse of the sun on the Monday right after this. So I'll probably be in the Ottawa area. And so I should have cell coverage. Well, I shouldn't say that because we might be going out to my wife's cousin's cabin in the woods, and it's
yeah,
got a park adjacent to it. And then my son's condo right in Ottawa has got a nice park 1 kilometer away as well. So I was just looking at maps this morning.
yeah,
So I'm either in downtown Ottawa or out on the outskirts. But I think I should have cell phone either way. And then it's the matter of borrowing my wife's cell phone because I don't own one myself. But she's got your WhatsApp on it already, Greg. I think we've used it in the past. I don't think we used it the last outing.
no,
Or did we? We
no.
did.
I
Forget
kind
how
of
we
forgot about
contacted.
it, but yeah.
I called her on the radio, on a two-way radio, and then she got a hold of you somehow. I forget, but I was always paddling and forgetting to check in, and she'd give me a
Yeah.
text saying, "You haven't told Greg where you are. Where
Well,
are you?"
you know, well, really, we can only do so much as trying to find each other, but
Yeah,
we try.
but if we want to do 10, I think being some kind of a coordination would be good because I mean, to do it by chance is not going to happen. We need to know when we're doing it. I'd love to try to get to 10 across the pond. I'm using a vertical whip again. It's collapsible, so it's just a matter of dropping it down to half its height. And my radials, I can one's already cut
Yeah.
in the middle, so I can take my 20-meter radial and make it go for 10 meters in a heartbeat. I've got an alligator clip right in the center of it, and
All right.
and away I go. So that would be, and again, it depends on propagation. You know, like some days 10's hopping and some days it's not. But we're getting close to the
Right.
max of the cycle, and
Mm.
that would be
Well,
interesting, Bob. Absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah.
it would be really fun, and probably means I'll have to go out a bit later in the day, so you
Yeah,
guys get a time to
and
wake
we'll have
up.
to go, and perhaps we'll go a bit earlier.
Yeah, but whenever I go, it's gonna be weather dependent.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's impossible to plan this far ahead, but like a few days before, I'll probably know when I'm
Right.
going out.
Yeah, Greg, what do you think about us taking off a tad earlier this year?
Well,
Like
it's
with Lucy and Bob in those time zones. You know, if we got going
yeah,
at nine or 10 instead of 11 or 12 like we have been, what the heck? I'd be up for that.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll toss this around, and yeah, I could go a little earlier if there was some DX prospects. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, do you think maybe a frequency on like 20 meters as a watering hole makes any sense?
No,
This
not
is the
really.
HF pack frequencies. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, on a Saturday here at least in Europe, 20 is packed generally with
Yeah.
POTA and SOTA stations, so you can't say a preset one. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
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 It's wall to wall here now too. That POTA really has caught the
Well,
world on
gee, that
fire.
POTA, how about that?
And one thing I was going to say about POTA is getting spotted is almost a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know you want to make 5 contacts and leave, and boy, that makes you an ogre to these people who, especially if you're
Yeah.
in a park that people need. All of a sudden, you got 20 people calling, and after 5, you say, "Well, gotta go, guys," and oh, that's not good.
No,
I,
you
I
just do
almost I
the
almost like doing a search and pounce park to park. I kind of look for other people and just jump in
Yeah.
on theirs, and then
Yeah.
silently depart after 5 of them. To get spotted on POTA is a dangerous business.
Yeah.
good trick there is just turning the radio down to half a watt or something, like gradually.
Oh, okay.
And then
just do the strong guys.
Yeah, no, yeah, you just do it. You fake some QSB, and then you don't look really bad when you quit. Because some people get really angry, as you say, when you break up the pileup. I've gotten mails from people when I had to rig down on a SOTA summit because like there was thunder coming in, and I leave the mountain for some reason. And it was a guy, he was really angry because I had not answered his call in the pileup and just shut down. And like I prefer one angry mail to a lightning strike.
Okay. All right. Well, any suggestions or well, one thing we could look at is our bonuses, and perhaps if we have an international, well, really I could count Chris as international, but
yeah, but
but for intercontinental contacts, we should have a hefty bonus for that.
Yeah, we should get one for across the pond bonus.
Yeah, either that or for example down to ZS as well, South Africa, even if that's going to be hard to get, that would be really fun.
Well, I did it wasn't during RaDAR, but I did work Eddie on QRPCW one time with the Alex Loop, no less.
Wow.
But one year I was on the saltwater shore, quote, facing South Africa on St. George Island, and Eddie, he was trying, plus a lot of his friends, and I did get some of his friends, that had bigger stations, so at my first stop, I was focusing on South African stations, and I got a couple, so I enjoyed that.
What time zone is Eddie in? Is he same as Lucy, or is he further?
I think it's 2 hours before UTC. Does that make any sense? So anyway, when we started here, it was 8 o'clock in South Africa, 8 p.m. Yeah. All right.
It's the same as ours, and so it's 1 hour off UK, I think.
Okay.
So how big a problem is it if you don't have, internet or phone connectivity at your location while you're operating?
Oh, it's doable. Here, I rarely have internet or phone.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I'll take a 2-meter radio, call my wife. She'll get on the internet, let Greg know, okay, he's operating here.
Yeah, okay.
But a lot of times I don't even have that, and I just go, and I've run across Greg by fluke, and I've run across Bob KK4DIV by fluke. This is over several RaDAR sessions, but yeah, you can catch them by fluke too, because generally we hang out in the upper reaches of 20 meters. Like I like to go 14,305 and up, or maybe down to as low as 14,270, 290. I avoid 14,300 because that's the Maritime Mobile Service Network. But anywhere around that is where the POTA guys hang out, and where I think, I like to hang out too. And yeah, I'll go no cell, no internet, and it works. It works fine.
Well, the main goal is to get 5 contacts any way you can.
Yeah.
And then it's fun if you can actually. It's fun, but very challenging to find another RaDAR person. But But even if you didn't, you get 5 contacts and then move. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be at it's I guess 2 weeks after this rally. I'll be off the grid for a week down in Canyonlands, the park, which is the southeastern Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And but we're on a big flat plateau, and it should be fairly easy to do a kilometer hike and come back up on the air.
Yeah.
I'll be dragging around a magnetic loop too. So.
Okay. Well, really, even though we have the RaDAR rally, when there are opportunities to be outdoors and you want to kind of challenge yourself, doing it RaDAR style, it is a great idea. I've done a bit of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, Steve, we would be, if I was operating near my normal QTH here, we'd be a good distance. We're 1,000 miles apart, which is a nice hop on 20 meters. Unfortunately, I'll be almost 1,000 miles east for this coming one, the other side of the province here. So I'll be actually a good hop to Greg. And actually possibly better to Bob and to Lucy too, because like I said, I'm going to be quite a bit east of where I am now. But
yeah.
But no, even Utah might be pretty doable from southern Ontario. What do you think, Greg? You'd be a good distance to Utah too.
Yeah.
Florida, Utah would be a nice hop on 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, does anybody have any wrap up comments or new questions? Didn't want to hold Bob up too long here. So.
No, just fun to be here. And for me, I don't do this really much for the points. I just do it for the fun of it, to do the exercise. And it's fun to be. So it's really nice that you're organizing this. And I wish there would be more people joining here from here as well. I did try to get our MCOMs group to join, but they thought it was a bit too much work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's hard to explain how much fun it is.
Yes. It's really nice when you get back in and you're not tired anymore. But that of course depends how hard you decide to do it. So
yeah,
I'm thinking this activation may be a beach we have, which is 6 or 7 miles long, so I can just go back and forth on that. That is it's a bit cheaty, but it works.
Those rocks that you were climbing through last time, Bob, I looked at your feet going over those boulders. How do you get out of that without a sprained ankle? I don't know. That's risky business. Holy moly.
That's how many of the mountains over here are as well. I did one that was a lot worse, to say the least, a few weeks later. So, but this is it's fun, and it's a really good way to promote the hobby. So, any tips on how to get people to be engaged would be really, really good to have.
Just keep working on them.
Yeah. It's one thing to run portable. It's another thing to do portable fast, and that's what RaDAR is. It's fast.
We do have a Jim Nelson from Florida is going to join us this time. So,
cool.
He's new, and so, well, I have a lot of friends, or contacts in our club that go out. So, I call it social engineering, and that's part of RaDAR, is to talk people into going out or chasing you or whatever. So it's a good kind of social engineering, right? Okay.
No, I really want to try getting across the pond. What about 15 meters, Bob? Is that like, if 10 doesn't open up, 15 might be an option too to get from us to you?
15 could work really well, and I can also run digital if that's if I'm going to a flat location. That shouldn't be a big issue.
Yeah.
But so FT8 could, or FT4, I do a lot of QSOs over to the US, that there, both to Florida and near Michigan, which I believe is close to where you said you were going.
Are you using that Android app, or are you doing it on a Windows PC when you do FT8?
Doing it on a laptop, so it's somewhat weather dependent.
Yeah. I've tried that new Android FT8 app. Now, I've never made a QSO. You tried it too, Greg. It's
Yeah,
a
well,
little.
I think I made a QSO, but I didn't know it. So
Yeah, it seems almost too automatic. I started and then all of a sudden it's sending out CQ before I even touched anything. But
yeah,
I
well,
might work on getting versed in that before April and see if we can't do a couple of digitals. Do we have a digital bonus this year, Greg, or
well, it's not a bonus, but it
it's a
is
mention?
a valid mode for doing radar. Well,
Also, we're talking about increasing the QRP multiplier a bit. Or
yeah,
did you already do that?
no, hadn't made any changes.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
just saying, because I go full power and I see you guys doing your 10 and 20 watts, and I think you should get more points for that.
yeah.
My radio doesn't go any faster. I do have a 100-watt rig, but that is too heavy. So
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I got my 817 now, so I might maybe I'll go QRP, Greg, although you can't tell anyone that.
yeah. Well, that Chinese rig does 20 watts, so maybe I'll call QRP 20 watts. Huh?
Yeah.
yeah. There was a guy selling an 818 at the ham meeting yesterday, and that was $800. Not sure if that's expensive or not, but for me it seemed like almost more than new.
Yeah, that's a little high. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, that's premium price. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
you're
you
up
can
to that
always
kind of
hope.
money, you're looking at the ICOM 705 and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, with the pan adapter display and everything.
Hmm. So what was your rig, Bob, last time?
Ciegu X6100, I believe.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
like that rig, I guess.
Yeah, I've used it for a few years now, two and a
Yeah.
half years. So
Oh.
it's getting worn out, but it's been used quite heavily.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, well, I'm Bob, the European group talked about the KH1.
Yeah.
The Elecraft KH1, and I now have one. And I walk Susie, our basset hound, and so I take it on my walks with her, and I made a couple of contacts this morning. And yesterday, Tom and I went to a POTA site near Troy, Alabama, and I got the 10 contacts, hunt and pounce. I did. So anyway, I'm having fun with it. It's pretty unique. It's not for everybody, but just as a data point. Yeah. Not sure I I could use it for radar. It is the ultimate compact. It's just in a very little, comes in a with a very small pack. It's hard to believe how small it is.
Well, I'm still running the in the backpack here. And it's heavy, I got to admit, but it's
Yeah.
100 watts, 18 amp hour battery.
Yeah.
Blow their doors off. What the heck?
Well, radar is somewhat about trade-offs of how much of a rig you want, how much power, what antenna. So,
And how much of a hernia you want to get carrying it
yeah,
around.
and I have used a 100-watt rig and a big battery and pushed it around in cart, or actually I have a dog cart, but I didn't put Susie in, I put a rig. So, all right. Well, I think we'll wrap up, and I'll make this available to the groups.io and keep talking up RaDAR as we come down. I started advertising a little earlier than a lot of times. It's like 2 weeks before. Oh, RaDAR's coming. RaDAR's coming. But so, okay, looking forward to April 6th, and I hope there's good weather on both sides of the pond.